Hello, thanks for tuning in. It's Jen Flab, the Fabulous 18. Don't mind the messy bedhead with makeup. I know it's a little random, but I got new lipstick today and I wanted to try it, so that's why I have on lipstick. And I'm tired from a long, busy weekend of competition, therefore I don't feel like doing my hair. But there are some things I want to talk about today. So what I want to talk about is, I don't know what I would call this topic, okay? But beyond the weight loss, like beyond the physical aspect of losing weight, okay? So everybody knows, for the most part, that's in my circle, whatever part of the circle they're in, whether it's very distant or very close, most people by now are well aware that I've lost weight, that I'm losing weight. I'm public about it. I've had my Flab to Fabulous 18 Facebook and Instagram page since June. Before that page was rolled out, I was posting changes I was making and things I was doing on my regular Facebook and Instagram. So people know, okay? So it's very out there for everyone to know, okay? So with that being said, there's not really an opportunity where I run into somebody that they're completely surprised because they see it on social media. So this weekend, we were at a competition. My daughter is a twirler, and we were at a twirl competition. And in that circle, we have our immediate circle of town twirlers, and we have the competition circle. And I only see those people at competitions. So a person had come up to me and said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know, like, you really look good." And of course get that often because I've lost such a substantial amount of weight. But this person is very distant in the circle. Okay, so we follow each other on social media, but it's probably distantly, probably doesn't pop up in each other's feeds because we don't have a relationship, so to speak. So we were talking to her, and she had said, you have to feel amazing. You have to feel so much better. And I was, of course, like, yeah, I feel amazing. And I decided to share with her, which I'm a little bit, I share different parts of this with different people because I try to be relatable to whoever I'm talking to, but for whatever reason, I knew what I was going to say wasn't necessarily going to be relatable to her, but it was almost going to be informative just because she is a person that, in my opinion, and I'm going to say I'm probably 99.99999 infinity% accurate on this, has never experienced obesity or even overweight. Like a lot of people, she's probably one of those people who may have had weight to lose or have weight to lose. I have no idea. But within a normal 5 to 15 pounds, nothing even close to what me and people like me experience, okay? So I decided to let her into that part of the circle, give her a little insight. So I told her, yes, I do feel amazing. But time competitions are a good place for me to see the difference in how I feel. And I was telling her that, when you lose as much weight as I have lost, you experience different feelings that you didn't even know you were missing before. So whether that be how you may feel bones, like I can feel these bones just by touching on them. I don't have to press and dig through a layer of fat. I can feel these bones, and that same thing when I'm laying on my bed, my hip bones. You can sit into different positions. I often find myself now when I'm sitting at my desk at work, I sit Indian style. That's probably politically incorrect. I sit crisscross applesauce on my desk chair because I can, and it's comfortable for me. So there's different things you find yourself doing as you decrease in weight and your body size changes, and back to what I was saying, at competition, those things sometimes become more apparent. And I gave her an example of this weekend at competition. We were in an auditorium watching the girls perform on the stage. And in the past, going into an auditorium was anxiety producing because I didn't know how I would fit in the seat. Okay, so in this auditorium, I didn't even think about it because now I'm so far into this now that little anxieties like that are starting to dissipate. So I went into the auditorium not at all concerned about the seat because I'm just not in that. I'm past that. So, but I'm sitting in the auditorium seat, okay, and it's a standard high school auditorium, and there are people sitting behind me, and I'm talking to them. Now, in the past, I would have to either lean and talk like this, talk with my back to them and just turn my head like, yeah, you know, or physically get up and go back there and sit with them or stand up and turn around because I'm wedged into the seat. So at this time, I am talking to the people behind me, and I am turned sideways like this with my, now you can't see my legs, but with my one leg up in the auditorium chair, okay, and I'm talking to a person sitting beside me, and a conversation with people behind me, and I'm talking and I'm watching the stage, and we're doing all these things. And now we're talking about things that have nothing to do with weight, okay? We're talking about our kids, we're talking about college because their girls are in college now, we're talking about majorettes, we're talking about all these things. And I go to, in my mind, out of nowhere, I'm sitting sideways in an auditorium seat. Amazing, okay? So I'm talking to this Albertine mom now, okay? And I'm telling her, I'm giving her this example, like, you know, I found myself sitting sideways in an auditorium seat, and that is amazing for me. And to anybody else walking past and me telling you, you don't get why that's a big deal. But let me take you back 2 years ago to a competition, and we're sitting in an auditorium, and we're sitting in auditorium seats, and I had to get in like this to wedge myself into the seat, okay? And this is during an award ceremony, okay? This is hours that we sat there. I had to fight tears for more than one reason. One reason is because it was so flippin' hot in there with no air conditioning, and we were in West Virginia, I don't know, in July. It was hot, so hot, okay? So, over 300 pounds. I was probably like 330 pounds-ish, somewhere in there. I'm hot, so hot, so hot, sweating. Feel like I'm gonna pass out because I'm just so hot. My ankles were so swollen, my ankles and feet. It hurt to walk. When we went up for intermission, it hurt to walk. My feet were so swollen, okay? But the worst part, okay, is if I'm not being reminded as I'm sitting there sweating like a beast and I'm puffed up, much puffier than I am on a normal basis. The sides of the auditorium chair are digging into my hips and hurt so bad, so bad. It went from uncomfortable to unbearable as time went past. So miserable, okay? So for a person at that time, me, who was already miserable and down because I had gained all this weight back, okay? Now I'm sitting here being reminded by digging metal arm rest, digging into my hips, putting me in pain, reminding me every second of that experience that I am incredibly overweight, out of shape, and writing my own death sentence, okay? So to go from that to take us down to the following year, we go back to the same auditorium. I'm 4 months into my recommitment to taking back my health. I've lost 40 to 50 pounds, somewhere in there at that point. So I'm still obese. I'm like 250, 260 pounds. No, it would have been like 280. Would have been like 280 pounds, okay? But that time, I was comfortable, especially compared to the year before, okay? Nothing was digging in me. I could sit. I could even prop my leg up. You know, I couldn't cross it like this, but I could cross it like, you know, just sit it on top. So we go from that. So I'm telling this to this woman who doesn't have to deal with this, you know, who is fortunate to not have an obesity problem. So I went from being in so much pain where I left that competition with bruising on my hips to now I am turned sideways in a high school auditorium chair with my leg up talking to people, okay? Yes, I feel amazing. And I've yo-yoed on and off forever, okay? Forever. But I've always went from really high weight to a less high weight, okay? I've never been this weight. So I'm constantly finding new things that I can do that I didn't even know I couldn't do because it's just not been a part of my life. How I sit in a car, how I sit at my desk, how I run up a flight of steps. You know, I used to avoid steps like the plague, okay? And if you are obese, you probably know what I'm talking about, okay? Find any excuse to not go up and down the steps, because when you're carrying around all this weight, that's so much weight to go up and down the steps, okay? And put it in perspective. I'm telling this to this other mom, and she's like, no, that's very true. Like, if you pick up, you know, two 10-pound boxes, that's a lot to carry around. So, you know, I can imagine what it feels like to lose that. And I was like, I did that. When I lost 90 pounds, and I said that, and she was like, wow, you lost 90 pounds, right? I'm like, when I lost 90 pounds, I think it was 90. I went to the grocery store, and my daughter helped me stack up 90 pounds of dog food on top of the cart so I could take a picture and say, this is what I've lost, 90 pounds of dog food, right? And I thought I was gonna hold that 90 pounds up proudly with my arms for her to take the picture, but I couldn't. I had to stack it on the cart because I couldn't hold the 90 pounds. And I carried that around with me all over my body. No wonder I hated to go up and down the steps, right? So I'm telling this story, and she's like, that's crazy, that's insane, that's so true. Wow, is that what you lost then, 90 pounds? Oh no. I'm at 145 pounds lost as of now. Mind blown. Like, her mind is blown. Like, she probably doesn't even weigh 145 pounds, okay? So mind blown. I've lost a person. I've lost what my recommended weight is, okay? I'm supposed to weigh like 140 pounds, and I've lost 145. I carried around another person up and down steps, in and out of the bed, in and out of the car, up and down the aisles of the grocery store. 145 pounds, okay? If you want some perspective of that, go just try to lift 2 bags of dog food. I don't even remember what the dog food weighs, okay? Pick up 2 bags of dog food. See if you can imagine carrying that around. Now put 6 of those, 7 of those, 8 of those. If you want to try to understand how it feels to be obese, it does not feel good, okay? Now, why am I saying all this? Because there's so many of us in the VSG community, in the weight loss surgery community, that I see, especially if you're in any of the social media groups, okay? I only lost blank. It's been X amount of weeks and I'm only at blank. I see everybody else losing this, but I've only lost that. That makes me so crazy. So crazy. Only, okay? If you lost anything, kudos to you, okay? Because we all know losing weight isn't easy. But only lost? So the next time you say, I only lost 25 pounds or I only lost 30 pounds, I've even seen people put, I've only lost 60 pounds and it's been 3 months, okay? Go pick up 60 pounds of dog food. Go pick up 60 pounds of something. Use sugar. Sugar comes in 5-pound bags. Try to pick up 10 bags of 5-pound sugars. And then say only. Because you carry that around every day. Every day. It's not only, okay? It's not only. My weight loss might be different than your weight loss. And your weight loss might be different than his weight loss. And his weight loss might be different than her weight loss. Because we are our own people. Our bodies react differently. And that is normal. But don't say only. You know, I love how I feel right now. I've never felt this good, okay? Mentally, physically, ever. I've never been this weight. I've never worn these size clothes. I have never felt like this, ever. It's brand new to me. I graduated high school at 235 pounds. When I weighed in May, I was at 191. I've never been here, and I feel amazing, okay? And I've loved myself and how I've felt at every pound loss starting at 336 pounds, okay? So I went to the doctor for the first time, it was 336 pounds. When I went back for my 3-week follow-up to see how I was doing with the diet they gave me, I lost 14 pounds. And I felt great. I never once said I only lost 14 pounds. Time passes regardless. So if you're losing, it doesn't matter the rate. Losing is better than gaining. Right? It is. Okay? I have loved every single, I love how my clothes fit. I love buying new clothes. I love how my body looks in the mirror. Do I like how I look naked? No. But I never did. So who cares? I don't care. My husband doesn't care. I love what I look like when I look in the mirror. I love what I look like when I go shopping. I love how I feel when I go shopping. I love how I feel after I go downstairs to do laundry and come back upstairs. I love how I feel rolling out of bed without rolling to the side and swinging my feet out, then holding my back and standing up and straightening my knees and my back and crippling over to the bathroom while my body adjusts. Not that my body doesn't hurt, because it's carried around so much weight for so long. I mean, I still have normal joint pain. I'm 41 years old and I've been obese the majority of my life. So I'm not gonna feel like $1 million, even though I feel like $1 million. I do, okay? So stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop expecting this to be like, oh, I'm here and I need to be here now. No one does that, okay? I've been losing weight since March of last year, so March of 2018, so a year and 2 months. I'm 9 months post-op. I've lost 145 pounds. I'm wearing size large from average size stores, normal stores I've never shopped in, ever in my life, ever. I've always been Elaine Bryant, Torrid, Sears plus size, Kohl's plus size, JCPenney's plus size. Now I'm going to New York and Company, Gap, Old Navy. I've never done that. I've never done that. But I'm doing it now. And guess what? I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm still obese. Yeah. I am still considered obese. I weigh 191 pounds. A year and 2 months ago, I weighed 336 pounds with a BMI. Oh man, I can't even remember my BMI. 50 something. My BMI now is 11 pounds away from being overweight. That's my next goal, by the way, to be overweight versus obese. I'm 11 pounds away from that. I never once said I only done something. I've only lost this. Because guess what? If you do what you are supposed to do, what are you supposed to do? Eat right. What does that mean? Choose the right food, healthy food, the majority of the time. Eat the appropriate portion for you, whether you're a surgery patient or not, doesn't matter. Everyone has an appropriate portion. Mine might be different than yours, but there's still an appropriate portion. So eating the appropriate portion, eating at the appropriate times. Why is that so important? Yada, 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 metabolism, yada, yada, yada. You hear lots of those things. For me, the main reason why eating at the right time is so important for me is because it helps me identify head hunger. So many of us have head hunger, and so many of us deny it. Okay? You don't need to be an emotional eater to feed head hunger. You don't need to be a food addict to feed head hunger. Head hunger is when you're eating when your body doesn't need it. If you eat the right food at the right time, for me, that is every 2 to 3 hours. And it's protein packed first because I eat protein low carb. So I make sure I eat my protein first because I'm only eating up to 8 ounces at a time. So I need to make sure it's going to be what my body needs. If I ate at 8 and at 9:30 I'm hungry, I want a snack, guess what? Head hunger. I'm either bored or emotionally charged, but I am not hungry because I ate the right thing at 8. I don't need to eat again until 10 or 11, okay? That's why sticking to a schedule is important. Eating the right food in the right portion at the right time. If you are eating the right food in the right portion at the right time, your weight will take care of itself. And you don't need to compare it. You don't need to worry about stalls. You don't need to worry about, I only lost 0.2 this week, or this week I was up 0.2. If you're eating the right food in the right portion at the right time, your weight will come off when it's ready to, when your body releases it. Nobody, I cannot believe, okay, and if you can prove me wrong, I'm sorry. But, and if it's possible, there's very few. Nobody can say, or very, very few people can say, I'm pretty sure, okay, I can't prove this, can't back it, it's just what I think, that they eat the right foods in the right portions at the right time and are staying morbidly obese and not losing weight. I just don't buy it. And if that is true, then there's some other medical condition there and they're an exception, okay? Eat the right food in the right portion at the right time. Follow your plan. If you're a bariatric patient, follow your plan. How many times do we see bariatric patients saying, how long until you waited till you drank Coke? How long until you waited till you ate pizza again? If you're asking those questions, you got some other issues, okay? Follow your plan. Follow the plan that your bariatric surgeon gave you. Follow the plan that your nutritionist gave you. Follow the plan that your mental health professional gave you. Follow the plan that your physiologist gave you. Maybe you don't have a physiologist in your plan. Maybe you don't have a mental health professional in your plan. Maybe you don't even have a nutritionist in your plan. Maybe your surgeon simply performed a surgery and sent you on your way. Because that does happen. There are plans like that. There are people who have this process done and don't have a plan. That's true. Guess what? It's no excuse. There are books to read. There are websites to visit. There are YouTube videos to watch. There's an immense amount of resources out there for you to put in the research and find the right thing for you. What's right for me might be different than what's right for you. There's different ways to do it right. There's different ways to follow the right plan, because the right plan can be different for everyone. That's okay. But you need to be following a plan that makes sense. You need to be following a plan that is good for you and your body. And typically that doesn't include Coke and pizza. Not saying you're never gonna have a bite of pizza. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Because I have eaten things in the past 9 months that aren't necessarily good for you and certainly aren't gonna promote weight loss, but I'm not eating them every week. Not even eating them every month. But I've learned balance. But I have a bariatric surgeon who is amazing. I have nutritionists that will respond to any question at any time via email. And I follow up every 4 months to see them face to face. I have a mental health professional who is amazing at helping me through emotional eating and head hunger and anxiety, because that's what we started with. I see a physiologist every 4 to 6 months who is also amazing, who I send him an email asking him questions. Hey, can you watch this YouTube video? I just watched this. What do you think? He calls me up. Hey, I just watched that video. This is what I think. I have an amazing team. I know we don't all have that, okay? But not everything, I just use my team the way I need to use them because that's what they're there for. But not everything I know and everything I follow and everything I've learned did I learn through them. I'm my own advocate. I read, I go online, I research, I listen to other people's experiences and am real. And just because you can eat pizza and it's okay, I eat pizza every Friday night and it's okay for me, it works for me, does not mean I'm gonna go eat pizza. I don't look to validate my bad behaviors by other people's bad behaviors. If I have a behavior that I think is maybe not good, let's say I wanted to eat pizza every Friday night, I wouldn't look for other people who were eating pizza every Friday night post bariatric surgery and were looking okay and were having no issues. I would look for alternatives to pizza and eat that every Friday night. Chicken crust pizza, cauliflower crust pizza. Look for alternatives. Do your own research. You have to want to do it. You have to put in the work. Losing weight is not easy for anyone. Being in control of emotional eating isn't easy for anyone. Choosing the right food isn't easy for anyone who's had an obesity problem. And even for people who don't have an obesity problem. I mean, there are people out there who just love to eat healthy and that's what they do. But a lot of us aren't like that. We weren't brought up that way. We're not surrounded by that. We're surrounded by processed food and junk everywhere we go. But you have to put in the research. You have to put in the work. You have to want it. You have to work for it. Surgery doesn't make it easy. Surgery might help you get there a little bit faster. Surgery for me is just a tool to help me not binge eat. For when I have those days that I'm out of control and I can't control my emotions, which haven't really happened, okay? I have not binged since I have been in therapy, and I was in therapy for a year before surgery, okay? But I'm prepared for that day that it's something, life happens, and I can't control it. And I think I'm going to turn back to my old habits. I'm going to binge. And guess what? My stomach is going to say, "Oh no, you're not. Remember me? This is why you did this to me. Because I'm going to help you. I'm going to stop you right now." And that's how it works for me. You have to put in the work. You don't just have your stomach cut out and things are easy. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard if you don't do it. It's hard if you don't have surgery. It's hard if you stay obese. Everything about it's hard. It's how much you're willing to work for it. Be your own advocate. Research. Don't use your team as an excuse or your lack of team as an excuse. Figure it out. Be your own person. Find someone who knows. Find someone who's been successful and has a good plan. And ask them to help you. Ask them for advice. Don't just say, "Oh, I don't have a plan. I had my surgery done in Tijuana and they don't give you a plan, so I'm just eating everything I want in smaller portions." Yeah, that might work for you. And maybe your goal is not to be healthy. Maybe your goal is to be skinny. That's not my goal. So I'm talking about my goal. My goal is to be healthy and in control of me. I utilize my team for how it suits me, but I don't rely on them. Because if that team would dissipate tomorrow, then would I go back to old habits and be the old me? I hope not. I hope I've learned enough and put enough work into myself that I will remain in control. And they helped equip me with the right tools to help me. My bariatric surgeon gave me the tool of not being able to eat huge amounts of food at one time. I can't binge eat. My dietitian gave me tools of helping me choose appropriate foods, what those appropriate foods are, what foods I should stay away from, what kind of macros I should eat, protein first, low carbs, what carbs are good. Those are the tools she gave me. My physiologist, what tools did he give me? What is a physiologist? It's a person who is like an exercise professional. It's the best way I know how to explain it. He gave me tools. Exercise doesn't have to be running marathons and going to the gym. Exercise could be busting it out in your living room to music and dancing for 20 minutes. Exercise could be going up and down the steps 5 times just to get some moves in. Exercise can be whatever you want it to be as long as it keeps you active. It doesn't have to be grueling and intense. My therapist, she gave me tools. When I want to eat and it's not time to eat, identify what it is. Why am I feeling that? What can I do to stop it? What are actions I can do to distract myself and move on because it'll go away? Identifying patterns and bad behaviors. They all gave me tools. They're not doing this for me. They gave me tools so that I can do it for myself. And that feels amazing. So yes, I feel amazing. I feel amazing because of my weight, because of my control, because of my mental health, all those things. Stick with it. Every pound lost takes you closer to a new destination that you've never been to. Well, maybe you have. For me, I've never been there because I've never been a healthy weight. Some people were healthy weight and they gain weight and they're going back. I've never been there. And you're never going to get there if you don't do the right things. So that's just what I had to say today. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Any suggestions on anything you want to talk to for me to talk about, any upcoming videos, let me know. Thanks for tuning in.